listen closely. Chosen one. This is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. Heaven led you here on purpose. Because something is shifting in your life right now. The drought is ending. The long, dry season where nothing seemed to move, nothing seemed to grow, and every door felt sealed. God says it is over. The season of lack is coming to an end. You have cried in silence, wondering when your turn would come. You've watched others step into their breakthroughs while you stood in the shadows, faith barely holding on. But hear this, God was not punishing you. He was positioning you. Every delay was divine timing. Every closed door was a setup for something greater. He was cultivating your roots beneath the surface so that when the rain came, you would be ready to bloom. This message is not for everyone. It's for those who have walked through lack, financial lack, emotional lack, spiritual emptiness, and still chose to believe. Those who refused to bow to bitterness when life didn't make sense. Those who kept praying when it looked foolish to keep hoping. You didn't break in the wilderness, you were being built in it. Now heaven whispers, it is time. The river that once dried up is about to flow again. The fields that lay barren are about to yield fruit. Where you saw failure, you will soon see favor. Where you felt forgotten, you will be remembered and rewarded. Because God is a restorer. And He's not just restoring what you lost, He's multiplying what was taken. Stay with me because this word is about to reveal why you had to walk through that season and what's coming next. There's a divine reason for every tear you cried, and before this message is over, you'll understand the power of your waiting. God has seen your sacrifice, and He is commanding the winds of abundance to blow in your direction. The days of scraping by, of barely holding on, are numbered. Provision is being released. Doors are swinging open, and what once looked impossible will soon become your testimony. Heaven is announcing it. Your season of lack has ended, and the season of abundance has begun. You've felt the stirring, haven't you? The quiet confirmation in your spirit that something unseen has begun to move. It's as if heaven itself has turned its gaze toward you, aligning what once felt scattered and lost. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit can sense it. The air feels different, lighter, charged with divine intention. This isn't imagination. It's divine orchestration. The same God who watched you walk through seasons of scarcity is now commanding the winds of change to favor your life. What was once withheld is being released. What was once delayed is now being accelerated. The heavens are declaring over you, enough of lack, enough of limitation. It's time to overflow. There is a shift taking place in the unseen realm. The things that were blocked are being reordered. The very atmosphere around your life is being rewritten. You were never forgotten. Heaven was simply preparing the stage for a moment like this. God was ensuring that when He poured out abundance, your heart would be ready to carry it with gratitude instead of pride. Listen closely, because this message is not from human inspiration. It carries the weight of divine truth. The Spirit of the living God is speaking through this word, reaching deep into the places you stopped believing. This is heaven's reminder that lack was never meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. You were never meant to live in survival mode. You were designed to live in divine supply. God says, I am restoring balance to your life. The areas that have been drained will be replenished. The efforts that went unnoticed will now be rewarded. I am opening streams in the desert and wells in the wilderness. You will no longer chase provision, it will find you. This word carries the seal of divine timing. There's no coincidence in its arrival. It's arriving precisely when your faith needed fuel. You may not realize it, but this is your spiritual confirmation that the cycle of lack has expired. The doors that once refused to open are about to swing wide. The blessings that seemed unreachable are now within your grasp. But before you step fully into it, understand this abundance isn't just about possessions. It's about positioning. It's the alignment of your heart with heaven's will. God doesn't pour into empty vessels without purpose. He fills those who are ready to steward His goodness well. So let your spirit be still. Let faith rise again. Because this word was sent as a divine decree echoing through time and space, finding you at this very moment. Not as a mere encouragement, but as a prophetic announcement your famine has ended. Your supply is on its way, and soon you'll see that what once felt impossible is now unfolding by divine command. The Spirit is revealing this. Now your wilderness season was not wasted. Every moment of waiting, every sleepless night, every silent prayer that seemed unanswered was laying the foundation for what's about to break open. The heavens have shifted in your favor, and what once felt like endless delay has now reached its appointed hour. You've been faithful in the dry land, and now the rain is coming. Not just a sprinkle, not a passing shower, but a downpour of divine provision. God is saying, I am releasing what was held back. I am filling the storehouses that once stood empty. I am turning what was barren into fertile ground. In this next season, abundance will not arrive through striving. It will flow through surrender. You will find that what you chased after before will begin to chase after you. People, resources, and opportunities will align without force. The same God who fed Elijah by the ravens, who rained manna from heaven, is now orchestrating your supply chain from realms you cannot see. Picture it: a field once parched, cracked under the heat of hardship, now softening beneath the first drops of rain. The soil that seemed dead begins to breathe again. Seeds that were buried long ago, dreams, prayers, promises, begin to break open, unseen roots reaching toward life. That's what's happening in your spirit right now. Things that looked lifeless are waking up. Dormant gifts are stirring. Hidden doors are unlocking. But hear this truth. Abundance is more than material overflow. It's divine restoration. It's peace returning where chaos once lived. It's clarity coming where confusion once reigned. It's relationships healed, vision renewed, and faith resurrected. The abundance God is sending touches every realm, spiritual, emotional, and physical. You'll begin to notice divine synchronicities, little signs that heaven is near, unexpected favor in places you were overlooked, conversations that unlock destiny, ideas that seem to come out of nowhere but carry divine strategy. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. And when the breakthrough begins to unfold, you will know it wasn't by your own strength. You'll look back and realize the waiting prepared you to recognize God's hand in everything. The same hands that held you through lack are the hands now releasing overflow. The prophecy is this: you are stepping into a divine reversal. Where there was emptiness, there will be fullness. Where there was restriction, there will be expansion. Where doors were sealed shut, keys are being released. The things that were once out of reach are being drawn toward you. It will feel sudden, but heaven has been building it for years. The enemy tried to convince you that lack was your identity. He whispered that maybe you missed your chance. But heaven is silencing that lie with this truth. You were never forgotten, only being prepared. Your obedience in the valley has positioned you for overflow on the mountaintop. And when it happens, you will carry abundance not as a trophy, but as testimony. Because this blessing is not meant to make you comfortable, it's meant to make you impactful. You are being trusted with overflow, so you can become a vessel of divine generosity. So let go of fear. Let go of guilt for wanting more. You are not greedy for desiring a full life. You are agreeing with God's design. The same God who clothed the lilies and fed the multitudes is declaring over you, I take pleasure in your prosperity, because your prosperity reflects my faithfulness. This is not a distant promise, it's a now word. The divine gates are opening. The heavens are shifting. The supply lines of heaven are flowing in your direction. You are about to witness what it means when God Himself says, "I will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it." This is the prophecy unveiled. The season of lack has expired, and the dawn of abundance has begun. There's something sacred about the way God works through seasons. He never wastes a storm, never allows a famine without purpose. Every drought holds divine instruction, and every delay conceals a lesson meant to reveal who you are and who He is. When you were walking through lack, it wasn't because heaven had forgotten you. It was because heaven was forming you. Lack exposes motives, purifies desires, and teaches trust in ways abundance never can. When everything was stripped away, your soul learned the sound of true dependence. You learned that faith isn't built in harvest, it's built in hunger. In that season, you discovered the strength of your spirit. You learned to pray without proof, to trust without sight, to believe without feeling. You were being refined, like gold pressed, purified and proven. Every unanswered prayer was chiseling you into someone who could carry the weight of answered ones. Spiritually, lack is a divine classroom. It dismantles false confidence and teaches humility. It reveals where your trust truly lies. When resources ran dry, when help didn't come, when doors slammed shut, God was quietly asking, "Will you still believe I'm enough?" And you did. You may have stumbled, questioned, cried, but deep down you didn't let go. That was faith being forged in the fire. Now abundance comes not just as provision, but as revelation. The meaning behind your hardship is this: you were never meant to live from scarcity, but from source. God was teaching you that He is the source. Everything else was only a channel. When one stream dried up, He wanted you to look higher to see that He controls the flow. The end of lack marks the beginning of alignment. Heaven never releases abundance into chaos. God aligns your heart before He increases your harvest. That's why He stripped away distractions, false alliances, and empty pursuits. He was pruning you not to punish, but to prepare. Think of a tree in winter, bare, silent, unmoving. To the world it looks dead. But beneath the soil, roots are strengthening, deepening, reaching into places unseen. That was you. While others overlooked you, God was anchoring you. You were being rooted for longevity, not temporary bloom. This transition into abundance carries deep spiritual symbolism. Lack represented the breaking of old cycles, the end of self-dependence. Abundance represents divine covenant, the restoration of trust. It's not just about receiving more, it's about becoming more. The person who emerges from lack is not the same as the one who entered it. You are wiser, humbler, and spiritually wealthier. You now understand the rhythm of divine timing. God didn't rush your process because He wasn't just blessing your life. He was blessing your lineage. The character forged in you will bless generations after you. The lessons learned in scarcity will preserve the abundance you're about to receive. This moment is sacred because it completes a spiritual circle. You've experienced emptiness, and now you'll understand fullness. But fullness isn't comfort, it's calling. The blessing coming your way isn't only for you. It's for the people who will be fed through your overflow. You will become a living conduit of divine generosity. The deeper truth is this: God never measures abundance by accumulation. He measures it by assignment. He doesn't just give to you, He gives through you. The increase He's releasing carries a divine mandate. You will be called to plant where others withered, to pour where others withheld. Spiritually, this is what your lack prepared you for: to handle abundance without losing intimacy with the one who gives it. to walk in overflow without forgetting who sustained you in emptiness, to remain humble in the midst of harvest. So as this season shifts, guard your heart. Remember, the same humility that attracted the blessing will be the humility that sustains it. The same gratitude that got you through the drought must carry you through the rain. This abundance is not a trophy for surviving, it's an invitation to serve from a higher level. You will no longer beg for crumbs when you were born to break bread for others. You will no longer chase provision when you've been anointed to create it. You have crossed from striving to flowing, from waiting to walking, from asking to receiving. And every time you look back at the years of lack, you will whisper, "Now I see what you were doing." The season of lack was never punishment. It was prophecy in disguise. And its purpose was always to lead you here, to the place where heaven could trust you with more. You've probably already begun to notice it. The subtle shifts, the quiet confirmations that something in your atmosphere has changed. These are not coincidences. They are divine indicators, whispers from heaven, saying, "Yes, the word is true. The new season has begun." When God begins to move you out of lack and into abundance, the signs start small, like dawn light peeking through the darkness. It's rarely loud at first, it's gentle, but undeniable. The first sign is unexplainable peace. Even before the blessing fully manifests, you feel lighter inside. The same problems might still exist on paper, but your spirit feels at rest. That's how heaven signals transition. Peace arrives before provision. The weight that once pressed on your chest begins to lift, and you start to breathe again. The second sign is divine alignment. People and opportunities begin to appear seemingly out of nowhere. Suddenly, doors that refused to open for years start cracking wide. Conversations unfold that connect you to destiny helpers. Resources flow from unexpected places. You realize you're not chasing anymore, the right things are finding you. The third sign is spiritual sensitivity. Your discernment heightens. You begin to feel drawn to prayer again, to stillness, to clarity. Old distractions lose their pull. You wake up feeling guided, even if you don't yet understand the full picture. Heaven is realigning your focus for what's ahead. The fourth sign is release from old attachments. Things that once consumed you, relationships, habits, fears, begin to fall away naturally. It's not that you're pushing them out. It's that your spirit no longer fits in the same spaces. This is a holy shedding making room for what's new. The fifth sign is visible favor. Little breakthroughs start happening. Debts canceled, unexpected payments, opportunities, open invitations, good news that seems too random to be random. These are confirmations that heaven's hand is at work. And finally, the sixth sign, renewed expectancy. You begin to hope again deeply. Your heart starts to believe that good things are not only possible, but near. This inner excitement, this holy anticipation, is the Spirit's way of saying, "Prepare your vessels, the rain is coming." When these signs begin to appear, don't dismiss them as luck or coincidence. Every small shift carries divine fingerprints. The peace, the clarity, the opportunities, even the sudden endings. All of it is heaven reorganizing your life to make space for the flood of blessing ahead. You'll notice that even your words begin to carry power. What you speak manifests faster. What you believe starts to appear. This is what happens when you align with divine timing. Manifestation accelerates. So pay attention to the little things. The same God who speaks through burning bushes and thunder also whispers through open doors and quiet confirmations. When you notice the shift, respond with gratitude. Gratitude multiplies miracles. Your confirmations are not coming, they're already here. The signs are heaven's signature over your new chapter, and they declare one simple truth. The season of lack has ended. The rain has begun. Every divine promise carries a process. And right before the moment of manifestation, there's always resistance. Not because God is denying you, but because heaven is testing what was built inside you. You'll notice this pattern right before the breakthrough. Things may briefly feel chaotic again. It might seem like doors are closing, distractions multiplying, or old fears trying to resurface. Don't be alarmed. This is spiritual turbulence. The enemy always fights hardest right before the blessing arrives. He's not attacking your present. He's terrified of your future. The first challenge will be the temptation to doubt. You'll hear whispers like, maybe nothing has changed. Maybe it's all in your head. That's the enemy's last attempt to pull you out of alignment. When you feel that, speak truth louder than fear. God is not a man that he should lie. If he said the drought is over, then it's over. The second challenge is emotional fatigue. You've waited so long that even good news can feel hard to believe. You might catch yourself preparing for disappointment because that's what you've grown used to. But this time is different. The door opening now isn't temporary, it's established. Let hope rise again. It's safe to believe this time. The third challenge comes in the form of distractions disguised as opportunities. Not every open door is divine. Some are decoys meant to drain your energy or detour your focus. That's why discernment is crucial in this season. Pray before you commit. Ask yourself, does this align with my peace, or does it pull me out of it? God's blessings come with clarity, not confusion. The fourth challenge will be spiritual isolation. Sometimes the moment you begin to rise, people around you may not understand. Old relationships might fade, not because of conflict, but because your vibration has changed. You've outgrown the environments that once sustained your wilderness. Don't mourn every exit. Some separations are sacred. And finally, the fifth challenge, impatience. You'll feel the momentum building and want everything at once. But abundance unfolds in divine sequence. Each blessing arrives when your character and purpose are ready to handle it. Patience is not punishment, it's preservation. So when the storms appear right after the promise, don't misinterpret them. Rain always comes before the harvest. The shaking is not to destroy you, it's to remove anything that cannot sustain your next level. This is where many give up right at the threshold of breakthrough. But not you. You've been trained for this moment. The same endurance that kept you through lack will now sustain you through increase. Keep your eyes on the promise, not the pressure. Every challenge you face now is proof that something powerful is being birthed. The greater the resistance, the closer the release. Stay anchored, stay grateful, stay focused. The enemy may try to make noise, but heaven has already signed your abundance into existence. And no force in hell can cancel what God has decreed over your life. Now that the shift has begun, the Spirit is saying, do not just receive this word, walk it out. Abundance isn't something you wait for, it's something you prepare for. Heaven is generous, but it pours only into ready vessels. The rain has started, but the harvest will depend on how you posture your heart. The first instruction is alignment. God is calling you to bring your life into order with His will. This means letting go of what no longer serves your purpose, habits, distractions, even certain mindsets. You cannot carry famine thinking into a season of overflow. Where lack once taught you to survive, faith must now teach you to expand. Begin each day by saying, Lord, align my desires with your design. When you do this, divine provision follows peace like a shadow. The second instruction is gratitude. Thankfulness isn't just politeness, it's a key of multiplication. What you thank God for increases. In the wilderness, you thanked Him for daily bread. In abundance, thank Him for stewardship. Keep a record of every small blessing, every answered prayer. Gratitude anchors your heart so that increase never turns into idolatry. Remember, abundance flows to grateful hearts, but it withdraws from entitled ones. The third instruction is obedience in motion. When God speaks, move. Don't delay. In this season, delayed obedience can mean delayed harvest. Sometimes the instruction will be simple. Call this person. Start that idea. Sow that seed. It may not make sense, but divine direction rarely does until you step out. Heaven rewards movement birthed from trust. The fourth instruction is faithful stewardship. God gives abundance not to make you comfortable, but to make you capable. Be wise with what's placed in your hands. Manage your finances with integrity. Guard your energy from unnecessary noise. Protect your peace as if it were gold, because it is. Your peace is proof that you are in divine rhythm. The fifth instruction is silent preparation. Not everyone can understand what God is building in you. Learn to grow quietly. Let your results speak louder than your explanations. Some things are sacred in their infancy. When heaven plants a new idea, guard it like a seed, nurture it, don't broadcast it. The time for display will come when the fruit is ready. The sixth instruction is radical generosity. You were never blessed just to build comfort. You were blessed to become a conduit. The fastest way to sustain abundance is to release it. Be generous with your time, your words, your resources. When you pour into others, you keep heaven's cycle of giving alive. As the scripture says, the generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will himself be watered. And finally, the seventh instruction, expectancy. Not wishful thinking, but holy expectation. Expectation is faith in its active form. Speak as if it's done. Walk as if it's here. Plan as if you've already received it. Expectancy keeps your spiritual atmosphere open for miracles. You must remember, abundance isn't only about receiving. It's about expanding God's kingdom through your life. You are a reflection of divine abundance on earth. When others see the fruit of your life, they will see proof that God still honors faithfulness. So take these instructions not as suggestions, but as sacred blueprints. Align your heart. Live in gratitude. Act in faith. Protect your peace. Give freely and expect the miraculous. Because in this new chapter, you are not striving for provision. You are stewarding heaven's flow. The same God who sustained you through scarcity is now teaching you how to live in surplus without losing your soul. Remember, this increase without instruction leads to illusion. But increase with obedience leads to elevation. And heaven's desire is not just to bless you, but to raise you. The rain is falling. The doors are opening. The harvest is ready. And the Spirit is saying, walk boldly. This is your time to receive and to reign. Even as blessings begin to flow, heaven wants you to know you are covered. You are not stepping into this new season unguarded or unprotected. God does not release abundance without also releasing angels to surround it. What he births, he defends. What he promises, he preserves. There is a hedge of divine protection rising around you right now, even in ways you cannot see. The same God who kept you in the wilderness will shield you in the harvest. The hand that provided manna in the desert will now guard the fields of your abundance. You don't have to fear losing what he's given. If he gave it, he will sustain it. You may feel a strange calm lately, as if something invisible is holding you steady. That's not coincidence. That's covenant. The peace you feel is proof of divine covering. God has gone before you, securing the path you're about to walk. He's already silenced plots that could have hindered you. The attacks that used to shake you will no longer touch you, because you've shifted dimensions from survival into sovereignty. Heaven says, you are not alone in this increase. You are surrounded by divine presence. Angels have been assigned to guard your household, your vision, your name. The same walls that once confined you are now becoming walls of protection. Where the enemy once entered freely, The gates have now been sealed by light. Do not let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Some will try to warn you. Be careful, you might lose it. But faith whispers back, what God builds cannot be broken. You are entering a season where your blessings will be both visible and untouchable. The abundance coming to you is protected by divine encryption, sealed with God's signature. Even in moments of uncertainty, remember this truth. God doesn't just bless your hands. He shields your heart. He's protecting your joy, your peace, your mental clarity. You've battled confusion long enough. The fog is lifting. The anxiety that haunted your nights will not follow you into this new dawn. You will walk in rooms where others may plot, yet their words will dissolve before reaching you. You'll find yourself at peace in places that once drained you. It's not because the world changed, it's because your covering did. The spiritual armor around you has strengthened. What used to shake you will now strengthen you. And when you feel alone, remember heaven stands watch. Angels walk beside you, unseen, but ever present. You've been assigned divine bodyguards for this chapter. You can move forward boldly, knowing you are not walking into uncertainty, but into territory that's already been conquered on your behalf. So rest. Don't let worry rob your wonder. You've fought too hard to live afraid. The God who brought you out will keep you through. The same voice that said, "It is time," also said, "You are safe. Your abundance is protected. Your destiny is secured. And your heart, once weary from battle, can finally rest in peace that surpasses understanding. Something inside you is already changing. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet yet undeniable awareness that you're not who you used to be. The one who endured the wilderness has now become the one who carries the rain. You've shifted from merely surviving to truly living. The same fire that once tested you has refined you into pure gold. This is what divine fulfillment looks like. It's not just about what's around you, it's about what's within you. You no longer crave validation from the world because you've tasted the approval of heaven. You no longer chase what once glittered because you've learned to recognize true glory. Your eyes see differently. Your heart moves differently. You walk not as one searching, but as one sent. There's a power that comes with alignment, a quiet authority born from obedience. You used to question why you were overlooked, why others seemed to rise while you stayed hidden. But now you see it clearly. God wasn't withholding the spotlight. He was cultivating depth. And now that hidden strength is becoming your crown. You're not the same soul who entered the storm. You are the harvest of it. Your transformation isn't loud. It's radiant. You've become someone who carries calm, even in chaos. You can feel peace in places that once triggered fear. That's how you know you've healed. The pain that used to define you has now become wisdom that guides you. What was once your wound has become your witness. And as fulfillment unfolds, you'll notice something miraculous. What you once prayed for starts to seek you. You won't have to strive to be seen, chosen, or accepted. Doors will recognize your name before you even knock. Because destiny doesn't need permission, it only needs readiness. And you are ready now. This is the phase where promises manifest into reality. The finances that once fluctuated begin to stabilize. The dreams that felt delayed start aligning swiftly. Relationships that drained you dissolve, and those that nurture your soul begin to appear. You'll stand in moments that feel familiar, only this time you'll realize you've grown beyond them. That's the beauty of fulfillment. It turns old tests into new testimonies. Spiritually, this transformation is more than breakthrough, it's becoming. You've become the person heaven saw all along. The one who can be trusted with influence without losing innocence. The one who can walk in favor without forgetting faith. the one who doesn't just talk about miracles, but lives as proof of them. Your voice carries more weight now. When you speak, heaven listens because your words are no longer born from pain, but from purpose. Every scar tells a story of survival that now inspires others to believe again. Your very existence becomes ministry. Your journey becomes someone else's roadmap. And the fulfillment you're entering is not temporary, it's generational. What God is releasing into your life now will echo through those connected to you. The same favor that lifts you will begin to lift those around you. Your children, your community, even strangers will taste the overflow. You are becoming a walking example of what divine restoration looks like. This is the moment heaven smiles and says, "Well done. You endured. You trusted. Now walk in the promise." So breathe deeply. You've crossed the threshold. You've entered your appointed time. The old story has ended, and a new one has begun, written by the very hand that once held you through the storm. You are not the same. You are transformed, fulfilled, and finally free to receive the abundance you were always destined for. Take a deep breath. Let every word you've heard settle into your spirit. You've walked through the valley, endured the silence, and now you stand at the dawn of divine abundance. Heaven is smiling upon you. The struggle was real, but so is the promise. The famine is finished. The season of lack has ended. You are walking into the overflow prepared for you before time began. Pause for a moment and feel that truth wash over you. You are no longer waiting. You are receiving. The shift has already begun within you. What once drained you will now feed you. What once resisted you will now recognize you. This is your time to rise in faith, to live in peace, to walk in overflow. Before we close, speak these affirmations aloud. Let them anchor your soul and seal this prophetic word in your spirit. I am aligned with divine abundance. Say it with conviction. You are not chasing blessing. Blessing flows to you because you walk in God's timing. Everything meant for you is finding its way back. 2. My waiting was not wasted. Every tear, every test, every lonely season was part of heaven's preparation. You didn't lose time. You gained strength, clarity, and wisdom that can never be taken from you. 3. I live in overflow, not survival. Scarcity no longer has permission to define you. You are stepping into a rhythm of ease, grace, and divine supply. You no longer strive, you flow. 4. God's hand is upon my life. Nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing stolen can stand against that truth. You are protected, guided, and surrounded by divine favor. Every step you take from here is ordered by heaven. Now receive this final blessing. May your days overflow with peace that surpasses understanding. May your hands never run empty, but always carry enough to bless others. May your mind be clear, your spirit steady, your heart fearless. May divine connections locate you, and may every delay transform into acceleration. May you walk under open heavens where provision flows, favor multiplies, and miracles chase you down. You are stepping into divine rhythm now. The battles that once drained you will fuel your testimony. The places that rejected you will now honor you. The story that began in lack will end in laughter. Go forward with this truth sealed upon you. The same God who promised abundance has already released it. The season of scarcity is behind you, and the era of fulfillment has begun. You are blessed, covered, and chosen for such a time as this.